Hey guys, what's going on? James here, and in this video today, we're going to be providing an injury update for a lot of Bucs players going into the Tampa Bay Buccaneers wild card round matchup versus the Philadelphia Eagles. And I am not alone in this injury update video today. Joining me yet again from the Cannon Fire podcast, it is Evan. Evan, how you doing, man?
I'm doing very good. Thank you for having me on.
Of course, thank you for being on yet again. You're basically borderlining on co-host at this point, you know. So I mean, you have a lot of responsibilities, man. You're the co-host of two shows.
I know
It's a lot. It's a lot.
not many can do what I can do, but I somehow manage.
Built different, built in a lab. But Evan, we are going to be talking about some injury updates right now. There's a lot to cover. Bruce Arians was asked by the media, I believe, a day or two ago, what the injury update on some of these Buccaneers starters were. Levante David, Shaq Barrett, Jason Pierre-Paul, Cyril Grayson sustained an injury in the Buccaneers Week 18 win versus the Carolina Panthers. So, Evan, kind of give us the rundown on what's going on regarding some of these injured Bucs going into the Buccaneers wildcard round.
Yeah, so it sounds encouraging that the Bucs could be getting maybe not all, but most of their guys back that they've been missing for a little bit. It sounds like Jason Pierre-Paul, Shaq Barrett, and Leonard Fournette should all be good to go. Arians didn't confirm that they would play, but it sure sounds like the expectation is that they're going to be able to play. We'll see how much they practice this week. Wasn't as clear on Levante David. He said they're kind of crossing their fingers a little bit on Levante David. It sounds like he's close. I just don't know how close he exactly is. If close means he can play, or if close means he's getting closer to being able to practice. I don't know. And then Cyril Grayson, there was some encouraging news that the hamstring injury is not as bad as they originally thought. But it doesn't sound like he's a guy who's going to play this weekend. Maybe if the Bucs advance, maybe he could be available for next week. But it doesn't sound like Grayson's a guy who's going to be available. But overall, I mean, pretty good news that the Bucs are getting back. Barrett, Jason Pierre-Paul, and Leonard Fournette. Even though you'd also want Levante David back as well.
For sure. And I know people are going to ask about this, because of course you got to talk about every single guy that's dealing with an injury. Are there any updates on guys like Ronald Jones, Giovani Bernard? Of course, Richard Sherman was placed on the injured reserve. His season is done. But any other guys who are kind of on the mend as well?
So I don't believe we've gotten really much of an update on Ronald Jones. Giovanni Bernard sounds like they're also a little bit like they're not sure about what his status could be. And really, I don't know if they're going to rush him back because Le'Veon Bell has filled that role pretty well. And if you're getting Leonard Fournette back as well, there might not be a need to rush back to Giovanni Bernard before he's 100% healthy. Same thing with Ronald Jones. If Leonard Fournette can play and Le'Veon Bell can keep stepping up and Keshawn Vaughn, can fill in here or there, why rush Jones back? I'm they didn't exactly give many updates, so we're not exactly sure where they're at. We'll see if any of them practice this week. But yeah, definitely, I don't think either of their seasons are over if the Bucs keep advancing, but I'm not sure about their status for this specific game.
Okay, so just we got confirmation for that. So for anybody in the comments, that there are your updates on those guys as well, because I know people would ask. But Evan, this is huge news, right? JPP, Shaq Barrett, and Leonard Fournette. Those three seem like they're more likelier than not going to be
Mhm.
back. That's huge boosts for the offense and defense. I think specifically a guy like Shaq Barrett has definitely been missed on this Bucs defense, not just for his pass rushing skills, but I think even the run stopping ability is really being shown to be a big part of what Shaq Barrett brings to the Buccaneers defense. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, I would. Rookie Joe Tryon has stepped in, but he's really more of a pass rusher. He's not really the greatest run defender in the world right now. So having him in there in place of Shaq Barrett definitely, definitely hurts a little bit. Anthony Nelson's a solid run defender. I think that's why you've been seeing a lot more of him recently as well.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think it's definitely hurt. They're going to need Levante David back too, I think. But Because that's a big loss. But I think, yeah, when you're looking at it, and Jason Pierre-Paul as well, he's a really good run defender. Hasn't really shown the pass rush much this season because he's been really dealing with a lot of nagging injuries and stuff. But yeah, Jason Pierre-Paul is a good run defender, and I think the run defense, while it may not be perfect against Philly if Levante David can't play, if Jason Pierre-Paul and Shaq Barrett are out there, I think it'll be better at least. And versus Philly, a team that's going to run the ball a lot, you're going to need that.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. I think it only does good things to the run defense, and their pass rush as well. Like you
Yeah.
said, Anthony Nelson came in. He was doing some really good things, to be honest. He was definitely a pretty pleasant surprise there when getting starting snaps. But you like to have guys like Shaq Barrett and JPP back out there on the defensive side. On the offensive side, gosh, if Leonard Fournette can play, that's huge because the Bucs are certainly down a lot of their good skill position players, right? Chris Godwin, Antonio Brown, Ronald Jones is out, all these guys are out, right? And Leonard Fournette, he's coming back, hopefully he's coming back, and he'd be huge, not just as a runner, but especially as a receiving option again as well. Like you said, Le'Veon Bell did some stuff as receiving back. Same thing with Keshawn Vaughn, but they didn't get nearly the amount of targets that Fournette was getting there before he got hurt. So I think it's going to be a huge boost to the offense. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, specifically in this matchup, if Fournette's able to play, Fournette in week 6 versus Philly played and had 22 carries for 81 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he played well versus the Eagles. And like you said, just you could tell that there's a difference there because Tom Brady isn't targeting the backs as much. And, without Chris Godwin, without Antonio Brown, they're going to need Leonard Fournette to really step up, like because he's going to become a bigger part of the offense. And yeah, I definitely think he's up for the challenge. He's been good this year. He's been much better this year than he was last year. And they're going to need playoff Lenny back. And they're going to need that type of performance from him if they want to keep advancing.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. So, folks, that's pretty much it for your injury updates right now. We'll probably have more information later on in the week. Shaq Barrett was activated off the IR, by the way. Or, no, not the Was he on the IR or the illness list? Or both?
He was on, yeah, he was on the illness list. They never put him on the IR.
Okay.
So they avoided putting him on the IR because that would have meant he definitely would have been out for this game. So yeah, he was just activated off of the illness list. So he should be good to go. As the only thing that could maybe hurt him is his actual injury. So that's that the illness hurdle is out of the way.
All right, well, so there you have it, guys. Obviously, we'll probably have more injury updates here as we get closer to the Buccaneers Week 1 matchup, which is it on Sunday or Saturday?
It's on Sunday at 1 p.m.
Okay, so there you have that. So again, we will have more updates as we get them throughout the week. But again, seems like Shaq Barrett might be good to go. Same with JPP and Leonard Fournette. Levante David, fingers crossed. And then, of course, in some other guys' cases like Richard Sherman, Cyril Grayson, they're not going to be playing. And then Ronald Jones, we don't know. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Evan, thank you for being on. It is greatly, greatly appreciated. Go subscribe to the Cannon Fire Podcast. They've got a fantastic YouTube channel on here. And let us know your guys' thoughts and opinions on all of these injury updates down in the comments section below. We would love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed, and we will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.